shots that you got at Marvel?
Nick Dragotta?
I was discovered by Axel. I was in art school and I graduated.
Yeah, I'll build on what Nick says. Again, Axel really discovered me also. You'll hear a lot when you're ready, and Nick's right. You'll know when you're ready. You may hear from an editor, I like what you're doing, I just need to find the right book from you. And I was very dismissive of that when I heard it. And I was like, if you like what I'm doing, why can't you just give me a job? But when the right book came along for what I was doing, Axel called me right up, and my whole career opened up from there. And I understand that now. You have to be able to look on the shelves, if you're writing or drawing, and see where you fit, and be very honest, just like Nick said, about where do I fit. And I was, just like Nick, we're kind of obscure, indie, mainstream, somewhere in limbo artists. So to find that niche where we fit was tricky, but once it happened, so patience.
I also did 16 pages of that John Henry, so regardless of if I was going to get mainstream work, I was going to publish it anyway. Yeah. So I would highly suggest you just make your own comics.
Yeah, make comics.
And you know, if it's good, I'll read it. Axel will read it, and he'll give you work.
That's the one thing I tell everybody. Let's see, how do you break in? Do a goddamn ash can. Do an ash can. You go to a Kinko's. You know, if you're an artist, draw it. Don't do just pinups, because we can't learn much.
And don't wait for a publisher to tell you you're a comic book artist. Be one, present yourself as a professional. With the internet, there's no publishing costs. You can really start a web strip and get it going.
I know that both Nick and Shawn have, like they were saying, sort of indie influenced styles, and so one of the key things is not giving what you call a poison chalice to an artist, meaning you give them work, the goblet of wine, but there's poison in it because it's not right for them. Shawn, I liked Shawn's work for a long time, but I didn't have a vehicle for it. I couldn't put him on, apart from Ecstatic, which was already gone by then, I didn't have a book that had that element of humor to it. The moment that Deadpool was revitalized, bam, you know, and there was a place for him, and it was the right thing for him to flex his muscles. And you see, now it's easier for Nick or Shawn to transition to do other types of things because they've got their foothold. So that's the way it works.
Could you share about how you got your start, Axel?
Me? Well, I worked in journalism, and then I entered an ad in the Times. And I have an uncommon name, you know, Axel Alonso. You don't see that often. And I've written an article in the Daily News and Newsday about the cannabis leaf in pop culture. And I've interviewed these two guys, head agent of the DEA for marijuana enforcement laws, and then editor of High Times. And I remember the guy's name because his name was Hagar, like Hagar the Horrible. And I wrote the article, and both of them were like such extremists that they came across looking kind of idiotic. It turned out that the editor at Vertigo who interviewed me, who staffed this, hated Hagar because Hagar stole his girlfriend. he ripped that article out, he remembered it, he's like, and he sees my resume, it could be Axel Alonso, he's like, I gotta meet this guy. So I went and he was like, dude, I love you. And I'm like, what? It's crazy, we didn't even interview. I would not be in comics if I hadn't written that article. And if my name would be Joe Smith, he wouldn't have remembered who it was, so. I was meant to destroy the comics industry.
But last night, we were talking about this at dinner, and it came up, and it was talent and luck.
Yeah.
And a perfect storm of talent and luck.
This is a question, something that Tom has got me thinking about. Where does, specifically to continuity with Deadpool, where does the regular Deadpool book fit in with, say, Merc in the Mouth, Deadpool Core, and Deadpool Team Up? Because I know, next to wondering how I'm going to convince my wife to keep helping me pay for, or to let me keep buying all these Deadpool comics every month. How does all that fit together? Probably the second hardest question.
Deadpool makes you a better lover. That's all.
That's a good t-shirt. Yeah, that's a good, yeah. I mean, the timeline question, I just say, Deadpool Work with Matt took place on Monday through Wednesday. So, it's like, you know, the Adventures in the Savage Land. The great stuff about going off on like some outer space adventure is it took place in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can answer it.
All right, hey, thank you, appreciate it.
I recognized you actually.
Awesome, awesome.
I
That's
heard the
great.
voice.
Dude, definitely best question of the day. Can we get a shot of the picture that
Sure.
Shawn Crystal dude? That is awesome.
Booyah!
Cool, booyah. Hey, thanks, man. And we're good to use this on here, on the YouTube.
Okay, great.
All right, cool. Make sure you check it out. Hey, thanks again.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Good
Good
work,
questions.
man.
Thanks.